Today's video is about how to stay free in love and in life. My name's Kute, Blackson, nationally best-selling author of You Are the One. So how do you stay free in love and in life? Love, the magical thing called love and relationships, not just romantic relationships, but life relationships and friendships can be such a source of joy. But somehow relationships, especially romantic relationships, can often bring up all of those places inside of yourself that are unhealed, that are wounded. Somehow relationships can find all those parts of you that need the most loving and can be such a source of joy, but also such a source of pain. People often say, love hurts so much. There have been poems written about it, books written about it, but I say that's BS. That's not true. It's not love that hurts. It's the expectations that we have on loving that actually hurts, not love itself. Because to love is really one of the most natural things for us to do. In essence, to love is natural. To love is your nature. You are love. The nature of your essence and being is to love. And one source of suffering is when you hold back what's natural. When you hold back your loving. When you hold back expressing your love, giving your love, loving those around you. When you hold that back, when you suppress it, when you repress it to protect yourself, to look cool, to play it safe because you've been hurt, I think it's the most unnatural thing when you hold love back. And it actually blocks the flow of your heart, blocks the flow of your creativity, blocks the flow of your aliveness and life force. And I believe that holding back your loving is actually one of the things that's the most painful things that we can do and experience in our life. Where are you holding back? Why are you holding back? When are you holding back? With who do you hold back with? To love, great freedom, is to love because it feels good to love. To love because it's your nature. To love because it's natural. To love because it's what's true to you. To love because it's the most natural impulse of your being. It's like breathing. And when you hold that back, you suffer. When you hold that back, I believe we end up depressed, unhappy, miserable, unfulfilled, disconnected, ultimately from ourselves and those around us. So love because it's natural to love. Love because it's true to love. Love because it's your nature to love. Love because it feels good to love. Love because you are love itself. The real pain is not the loving. The real pain is when we have expectations on our loving. We sometimes have this idea that if we love someone else, if we love those around us, if I love my spouse, if I love my boyfriend, my girlfriend, then they have to reciprocate that love in a certain way. So the expectations that you have on that, how that love is going to be returned, the expectations that you have on how that love is going to be given back to you is what often creates the pain, especially if those expectations aren't met in those exact specifications. But the real freedom is when you let go of those expectations and just say, you know what, I'm a force of love. It's my nature to love. And when you make a bold commitment to be the love that you are, because it's what's natural to you, and you say, I'm just going to love because it's what I want to do, because it's what feels natural to me, without the expectation that it gets returned to you a certain way, then you no longer let your loving and who you're being be dependent on who someone else is being. When you let who you're being and how you show up, because, well, I loved and they're not going to give it back to me. If I give, they're not going to reciprocate. If I give to them, they're not going to give me back as much as I'm going to give them. So I'm not going to give them because I'm going to be hurt. Then you are just letting yourself be controlled and a slave to external factors. True power is the reclamation of your own power, commitment, and willingness to love. And when you make a declaration, I will love because it's what's natural. I'm going to love because it's who I am. I'm going to be a bold force of love regardless of what happens out there. Then you actually stand in the source of your power and you're free, because in that moment, you're loving. It's true. Not everyone you love will love you back, and it will sometimes be painful. Not everyone who you give to will give you back. And I'm not condoning be in relationships that are unfulfilling. I'm not condoning stay long-term in relationships with people that don't honor you and value you and appreciate you. No, that's not what I'm saying. Ultimately, you want to be in a relationship with someone who is a mirror manifestation of your own consciousness, but realize that when people don't love you back, when your partner doesn't love you, when someone doesn't love you back, it has nothing to do with your own self-value. Don't make someone's loving or not loving of you, or reciprocation of the love that you give or that you give them Determine your self-value and your worth. Because whether they give you the love back or not, realize that who you are is whole and complete. Realize that who you are is a spark of the infinite. Who you are is made in the image and likeness of the infinite, of the divine, of God itself. Who you are is a perfect whole being, fully deserving of love, not because of what you do, not because of what you give, just because you exist, just because you are you. So your worth and your value is not determined because your boyfriend, because your husband, because someone you love didn't love you. Because the truth is, maybe they just weren't able to love you. Maybe they were hurting. Maybe they're not capable. Maybe they're not in an emotional state to love you. It often has nothing to do with you. But that doesn't have to determine whether you love or not. To love is patient. To love is free. To love is the ultimate reality. Because at the end of our lives, none of this stuff will really matter. At the end of our lives, the only thing you and I will care about is, did I love? Did I give? Did I allow love? Did I love fully? That's the only thing that really matters. We take nothing with us other than who we loved, the memory of who we loved, and the experiences of loving. And on our deathbeds, all we're really going to care about is, did I love or not? Most of the times, when you're with someone that dies, or someone you love dies, or if you've been close to that moment of death, the only thing you'll really care about is, I wish I had loved more. And so, when you love, yes, it may not be reciprocated by those that you gave to, but rest assured, you can't cheat the universe. Rest assured that when you love, you are the one that opens your heart. You are the one, as you open your heart and you love, you open yourself to also receiving at the same level with which you're giving, but you are the one that's also exercising your own love muscle. And in exercising your own love muscle, regardless of if that person gives back to you or not, you exercise your muscle, you win. So when you love, you never lose. When you love, you always win, because you're the one that is lifting the love muscle inside of your own self, getting stronger. And as you get stronger, as you develop your love capacity, you become more receptive, more open, more vibrationally aligned with situations and people in your life that are capable of loving at the level that you are also demonstrating your love. So if you want to attract more love into your life, don't wait for more love to come into your life. Oh, I'm going to love when this happens, or when my soulmate shows up, then I'm going to finally love. Because your soulmate is not waiting for someone who's waiting to love. Your soulmate is likely waiting for someone who is loving fully right now. And when you actually commit to loving fully like right now and live it not as a concept, live it not as an idea, when you truly live it fully, you are loving now, not waiting. Now the waiting ends. And when the waiting ends, because you are no longer separate from your reality, which is attracting love, because you're being love, you're living love, that's the moment that you bridge the gap. Manifestation starts happening, because rather than wanting something, waiting for something, you are being it fully right now. Ultimately, folks, to love is free. Ultimately, to be kind and loving costs nothing. It feels good. It's natural. It's your nature. A mango, a rose, nature is not waiting for you to love it. It's not, the tree or the rose bush isn't shining and radiant and beautiful because you're in the room or not. It's loving because that's what it is. And when you love, and no longer let your loving be dependent on what someone does or what someone doesn't do, you step into and access a whole new level of freedom inside yourself. The level of freedom that is of the great ones, the Mandelas, the Gandhis, the Jesus, the Buddha, the Muhammad Alis, the Martin Luther Kings, the Mother Teresas, and that sense of, I will love you. I will love because I'm going to love. I will love because that is my commitment to love. And it's in your commitment to love that you set yourself free. Rather than, I'll love you if you love me back. Rather than, I'll love you if you're a certain way. Rather than, I'll love you, and when you love me a certain way, then I'm going to feel happy. True freedom. True freedom and the true reward is in your commitment to loving itself. Life is short, my friends. Life is precious. Ultimately, the only thing that really matters at the end of our lives is, did you love fully? Did you love fully? Are you loving fully? Folks, I hope you enjoyed this short video. Please do share it with your friends and family. Go to my website, www.kuteblackson.com. Enter your name and your email, and you'll receive some free gifts from me. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Love now.